Welcome back, everybody, for another episode of the CBSI Hot 10 show. Make sure you go over to comicbookinvest.com and check out the article where I might put a few extra details that we don't talk about here tonight. Also, check out all of the other content here on the channel. Make sure you let me know what you think in the comments down below. Like, subscribe, hit the alert button so you don't miss anything. Keep telling your friends so we can keep growing the channel. Check out our Discord, and if you haven't given Whatnot a try yet, now's your chance to get a free $15 to spend on whatever you want, with whomever you want, on me. You'll help the channel, and you get yourself something nice. So check out the link below for that. And without further ado, let's just get into this week's list.
Notable sales.
Our first sale is not a book.
Hey, original art is hot. Hot Wheels 6, Neil Adams original art. This is a great series on its own. To take it, not even talking about the original art. The series itself is great, with Alex Toth doing a lot of the art, Neil Adams doing a lot of the art. This, I believe, is Hot Wheels number 6, which is the only one of that run that doesn't have the headshots on the side of the full cast as well. But
well, my man's trying to grab some headlights there down on the cover below.
And I know it's hard to tell in the black and white, but that is Santa Claus.
Look, right, he's trying to cop a feel.
Santa Claus is coming to town.
Yeah, it's a fun series that is expensive in comics, and it's hard to find in great shape. Once again, two legends, Alex Toth, Neil Adams. Original art's hot. It costs a lot of money. It has for a long time, but I mean, this market, especially for artists like Neil Adams, he's not creating any more art.
Very true.
Your supply is limited. These things end up selling for a lot, and almost $23,000 for this selling is something pretty spectacular.
What are we going to do in the future when all of our artists just keep using computers and computer graphics and drawing directly on their tablets? Like, what are they going to? They're just going to sell like printouts of the.
It's great as well, though. I mean, because you get a lot of OA from people where they drew something nice, or they did this, or it's a blank sketch cover, or whatever. To get the actual cover, original art is nice. I mean, that
you get that India ink smell, and you can
that's the best, because that's hey, here's what was used for that cover. It's not it's kind of something special, a little piece of history. So.
I think there's even a little coffee stain on this one. Look at that, and
that's not coffee.
The flames back there. A little chocolate stain or something.
So yeah, keep an eye out on the OA market, because it's an interesting one. There's some big dollars there.
There definitely is, and it's something I need to learn a little bit more about, because I see these prices and they astound me. But it's not just original art that astounds me sometimes, because even comic books can sell for prices that you would think are redonkulous. Case in point, Uncanny X-Men 510, the very hard to find Campbell sketch cover, a 9.8, sold for an all-time high of $16,800.
Wow. That's just crazy.
$16,000, almost 17, basically.
For a modern book. That's crazy.
How many variants of this cover are there?
There's a color version, and then there's this one.
Okay.
And I think they might have made the Mexican, because every very hard to find variant, they do the Mexican version, like in other La Mole copies. So, but this is a decent jump from the last one. It was an $18,000 ask, but they accepted $12,000 back in September of 22. So jumping up here to 16.8 is quite an achievement.
It's crazy. It's just
who knows whoever sold this.
Yeah, I mean, I love Campbell. I love Campbell Psylocke covers. That's a lot of money.
Love it. $16,000. Love it.
That's a lot of money for a modern book.
No.
That cost more than my last used car.
What's a used car?
It's what I like to buy, because I'm not a car guy. I don't really care. But with that said, let's check out our main list.
Number 10.
Just when you think they're done, they come back.
X-Men 97. We got what is it now? Second, third, fifth, ninth, 16th prints coming out.
We had a third print.
We had third print. I know, but I think isn't there a second of a third coming out too? You know how this goes. Whatever. Once we start getting the reprints, starts reminding people of the original book. So this one makes it back on the list because we saw a little bit of a spike up again in the sales.
Plus, it also wrapped up too. The final issue of the series also helped push.
Yeah, I don't think that's what helps push it. I think it's more when you see a lot of this reprinting stuff now. So 20 plus sales, averaging $20 to $25. CGC 98, 100 plus $1, so over $100.
Wow. Yeah, it's been $85 for a little while now. That's
yeah,
fine.
you know, I mean, it got up to 100 finally, so there you go. A little push. I don't know. Get a couple ducats. After eBay, you make like 15.36. So there you go. Good job.
You know, I was so sick
buy
of seeing
6-inch sub.
Yeah, right.
I was so sick of seeing
CGC. They didn't pay for the 99. Sorry, Bruce. They didn't pay for the 99. If they would have paid the extra $10 for the 99 and pre-screened at $99, $15, $18, and then slipped MN something there, you could have got a 99 out of that. I hear, and they throw in a free giant size X-Men 99 too with it. So there you go. I don't know.
You know,
should pay a little bit more.
You know, contrary to popular belief, you cannot pre-screen for a 9.9. Just saying.
Well,
but I'm glad to see X-Men back on the list. It's true. I'm glad to see X-Men back on the list. I kind of missed the X-Men after being on the list for like 2 months. So.
Yeah.
Well, with the reboot of the X-Men.
I think I hear sarcasm from the guy that keeps showing us screenshots of nothing at all in DC movies. I don't know.
Listen,
no, Bruce is just being.
Yeah, it's very important. I'm trying to give
DC
people news for the week. That's what I'm doing.
Here's some security guards looking at an empty coffee cup. Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
It wasn't an empty coffee cup. There was some cheesecake in that cup.
Fair enough. Let's go with number 9.
Number 9.
Ghost Machine just keeps rolling on. So let's go back to the beginning.
This Geiger universe, might as well go back to the beginning. Geiger 1. It's a great book. I mean, Jeff Johns, Gary Frank. It's a great combo. It was a fun story. It was really good art. And it was a fun run. It was a fun indie book to read. And now that you have this whole expanded universe, people are kind of gravitating back to that Geiger 1 book to fill out their collection. And 20 plus sales, average $10 to $15. It's not breaking the bank. There's a lot of great covers on this number 1. This is the A cover here.
This is just the A cover.
But there's a lot of fun covers if you go back and look through, and I'm sure you can find a reasonably priced one in there that you like.
Glow in the dark.
That
was we had a conversation about this early on in TAC because we were commenting about. I was reading it and told Pete it was good, and he's like, "Really, that thing?" I was like, "Yeah, it's the one gimmick book because they had so many gimmick covers they were doing."
A skull in a mushroom cloud. You got a skull in a mushroom cloud. That's badass.
They're cool. Thank you, Joe. They're cool as shit. That's what really got me into it. Then you start reading it, you're like, wow, the story's not bad either. Like,
no, it isn't. It wasn't bad. Once I gave it a try,
story. But I do remember Pete ridiculing me for buying glow in the dark covers and gimmick covers because they had a bunch of them. They had them all, which is awesome, bro.
Give me competent writing and good art. That's all we want.
It was still over my hate of DC foils at the time, which were just
no, it was before that. It was before DC foil hate.
DC foils just
yeah. It was the beginning of the gimmick era. Is that what we're changing this? It's no longer modern era. It's now the gimmick era. Is that what we're doing it? We're calling it?
No, because the gimmick era goes back to the 90s.
No, but that died. So this is the retro gimmick era, right?
If I start getting a lot of die cut covers, then I'll start.
Yeah.
Well, there's also you got to mix in the other bit that works into this era too, which is this book in particular also has third prints, fourth. I think.
Well, they started doing gimmicks on some of those prints, so like,
and they got incentives. It wasn't just Marvel and DC trying to.
Oh, true.
It was on second prints. They did it here too.
I don't know, when they do a scratch and sniff cover, then I'm set for life. So,
like we always go back to
what does your
with a lot of these indie books.
Santa Claus one.
Yeah, that one too.
Again, with a lot of these indie books, what ends up happening years later? You go back, something gets hot. It ends up being the A cover.
Yeah. Well, A always stands the test of time because there's so many people who just collect, and they just they don't care. They just want A.
Yep.
Agreed.
So with that, let's roll on to our next book.
Number 8.
My Stars and Garters. It's a DC book.
What? We got Detective Comics 1086 to 1 in 25 Romero there hasn't been an interesting Batman book since Night Terrors. Those covers were amazing. And this is different. It's hard to make Batman interesting on covers anymore, but this accomplishes that. We got about a dozen sales. The last 2 sales were $45 and $60, an average of 25, I believe.
Yeah, it's just ratio is the overall average, but it's trending up.
Yeah, this goes along with my Harley 37 from Aura, which I love.
I tell you, I still like the B cover on this book, which is it's just Batman with what looks like a weeping angel.
Oh yeah, that's a great cover too.
That was
in the cemetery.
That one I like.
That's a great cover too.
It'd be cool if the insides were matched to the outside.
I like what Ram V's doing with this.
Ram V's stories have been good.
Yeah.
It's just so much Batman.
It doesn't have the
just
same
so many
momentum
Batman stories out there. It's just
There's only five books, maybe.
Oh, only 5 books, maybe.
Maybe. We're not including Elseworlds. That doesn't count.
This is why we need more. This is why we need more X-Men.
We need more bats.
Definitely don't need any more bats.
We need more bats, but let's see what we got at our lucky numbers.
Number 7.
Oh, I can't believe I was missing this book for a while, and it just kind of snuck back up on us, and that is Grommets. The 1 in 10 is outpacing the 1 in 20 and the 1 in 25. It's been $40 the last couple of weeks, which is a nice little bump. And again, I kind of overlooked it last week, but this week I couldn't overlook it anymore because a copy sold for $99. Straight up, $100 for a 1 in 10.
Wow.
It's fun cover. There's not many of them out there. And all of the other books are also interesting too. The 1 in 20, the 1 in 25. But for whatever reason, people are gravitating towards the 7-Eleven cover.
Man, I remember when Big Slurpee was backwards 50 cents.
Well, that's what this is. These are those days. This is 99-cent eggs in the window.
You can still get it.
Milk is $1 for a gallon. $1.09.
I don't know. We can't tell. Sweet cover.
Makes me happy.
Yeah, because this is like the 90s. This is like you could still get a pack of cigarettes for like $1.
I remember
cartons. It says soda. It doesn't say pop.
Yeah.
Well, this isn't in the Midwest. This is some hippie place.
This is,
yeah.
Northern California, I believe.
Damn hippies.
Not hippies. He's got a black flag t-shirt on.
Like I said,
he's a hippie.
If you're of our age and you grew up in the skate culture and you skated stuff like that, this just kind of hits the right feels. So it's great.
I'm just wondering where his Skids pants are.
Nah.
Skids.
Why is he wearing Daisy Dukes?
That's the 80s.
It's the movie shorts.
Everyone wore those.
I didn't wear Daisy Dukes in the 80s.
They were just called shorts. Yeah. This was pre Fab Five Michigan when they had the long ass shorts.
Yeah.
That's when we went.
No, 76 Running Rebels. You know, the 80. What other team was that? The Running Rebels one that had
with Tark.
Yeah, with Tark chewing the towel, and it had. Dang it, man! Why am I forgetting?
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Point being, this is a fun little bit of nostalgia. I don't know if it's $100 fun bit of nostalgia, but we'll see. We'll see if
this book caught people off guard. I think a lot of people really liked it. I don't think it was probably that heavily ordered when it came in, and it'll be interesting to see how the series goes and how.
Plus, it's co-written by Bert from Big Bang Theory.
Yeah, I'm just happy. I love
what?
I love Rick Remender. Plain and simple. I love Rick Remender. I'm happy anytime he has a book out there that's doing well because his stuff is just fantastic.
Yeah. Well, anyway, we still got a couple more books to go, so let's see what we got next.
Number 6.
What the duck? He's back again.
Uncle Scrooge and the Infinite Dime. 1 in 10. The Dubbalow we kind of talked about last week. We talked about a bunch of the covers last week when we were seeing the J. Scott Campbell do pretty good. Dubbalow still too doing a little bit. You know, I always think of Venom when I think of him because he had that huge Venom run back in the day. But watching him do other stuff is really cool. I think he did a great job of this. It took a little bit more time to creep up. The Scott Campbell's still doing very well. We had more sales, 50+ sales coming off this. averaging $50, highs of 20. You probably should get it if you want it before it goes, because that's kind of what it seeming to do at this point.
I mean, 90% of the covers of this issue were great.
Yeah,
it just decide. I think people were trying to decide which book they were going to go for, and then decide like, oh wait. I mean, that's what I think's happening with this now. That's why I'm saying like I'd be surprised if it doesn't continue, because
he did a nice little run on these Disney characters before, but I think a lot of them were exclusive.
Yeah, they were. Doesn't help
out. When did this come out?
Just last week.
Last week, yeah, because we had the J. Scott one on last week's list.
Campbell came out hot out of the gate, the 1 in 50.
Campbell's still doing really good. It's still doing good, by the way. Don't get twisted.
Almost made it. It's still lingering there. $80 thereabouts.
Yeah, but don't sleep on these. There's a couple other ones. People like the what's his name? The Ross.
Yeah, the cover 8. The Alex Ross is good.
The Alex Ross is good. Yeah,
good.
Yeah.
Ron Lim with the bubble helmet gives you that classic vibe from the opening scene where he comes out with the space helmet. Even John Romita did an okay job on his cover.
For John Romita Jr. For Junior.
Yeah, Junior.
I mean, I don't know. These when Marvel takes a Disney character and puts it in one of their books, they always seem to be quite collectible. Whereas Dynamite's doing all that stuff with Disney stuff, it doesn't seem to get the type of traction. But you attach Marvel to it for some reason.
They also got part of Disney.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. When they do it over there, they've got maybe 1 or 2 decent artists, and they got up to Z cover. Here they throw out for Dan, like some of the top guys. You can't. I mean, you're saying Ross. You're saying Dubbalow. Like, I don't care what you say.
Well, the problem is that what Dynamite's doing is not only they just have a couple of covers, they then make 5 variations on those same 5 covers.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
It's just regurgitating the same thing, and it's just it's overwhelming. It's just overwhelming.
Yeah.
But with that said, let's keep it rolling and get to the top half of this list.
Number 5.
We got another EC homage.
EC. That was Tales from the Crypt 28.
It is.
It is.
I know. Just repeating it. Well, Red Band edition number 4.
Forgive Bruce, he didn't take his medicine today.
No,
this isn't a long DC title.
I do you said DC. I'm like, wait, what?
I got you. That's what he got all excited. More DC. Not yet.
This is a homage to the Tales from the Crypt 28.
There it is.
I like the original better.
Yeah, I don't like the cover as much as the detail. They kind of match it up. Pretty good match.
The other 3 covers, the first 3 covers better. But got to get it to collect for the set. Average of $90.
I think they did a good job on that.
$125.
Yeah, it is what it is. It doesn't have the same gusto as the first few because I think orders have been up.
Yeah, this is one we knew. We talked about when we saw the first one up. This was on FOC after the first one came up, so we knew.
Oh yeah,
we knew that. Actually, I'm surprised at how this is doing because everybody saw this one coming, and like you saw
the last one coming.
Yeah, the third one was right there too. The third one I think was still FOC eligible before long.
The third one, no, the second one, it was kind of like you had to get on.
The second one was still a blind site.
Yeah, still a blind site. Yeah, the third one was like, hey, you got a week. Get it. Get in your fucking orders.
Yeah, that's it. They had a week, so they had some,
or a couple of days at least. I mean, well, yeah. So since the Wednesday, they had a week. So
this you had a good time horizon.
Yeah, you had plenty of time to figure this out.
Yeah, you have time to figure it out. Point being, so I mean, I think, and from what dealers and from what LCS was saying, they're going to order heavy on this too because they thought it would still go all the way through 4. So, I mean, it doesn't seem like they ordered enough. I guess.
If we still got one left. We still got one left.
We'll see what that one does.
We'll see. But with that, let's move on to our next book.
Number 4.
And our next book is one that we have unfortunately seen before. Fortunately or unfortunately, some of us might be tired of looking at this crossover between Wolverine and Deadpool, but the movie has yet to hit screens. So we will probably see this 1 or 2 more times before the end of July, when that film actually hits theaters. But back again, people want to go pick up their Wolverine, Wolverine Deadpool crossover. So they're shelling out still $100 for these raw copies. 9/8 still getting over $400. Tons of volume.
Well.
There's direct version. There are a couple different versions of this with a newsstand, and then you have the direct edition. Then you have a premium edition, which I think the cover price is like $0.25 more or something.
Doesn't make the cover any
Doesn't
better.
make a difference.
Well, then you have this edition right here, which is the spine tick edition, where they give you a bunch of spine ticks on the side.
This is the picture, but I'm telling you, I've seen these. I've even sold banged up copies of this.
Yeah. They
don't care.
Yeah, they don't care.
You got to sell it at a discount, obviously. You're not getting $100 for a banged up copy, but people will buy what they can buy.
Absolutely.
But we're not going to stick on this one for very long. Let's just keep it moving and get in on the top 3.
Number 3.
We got New Blood.
Dig deep. Get digging. Negative Burn, number 7 from the Image run of Negative Burn, not the Caliber run, has our first appearance of the Proof, which apparently is moving along in its production or optioning.
Yeah, I think it's
closer to being a real thing. So this anthology book, the Negative Burns were anthology books, has the first story of the Proof in it. So you started the week of having this as a $3 to $8 book, and that's probably generous. If you're in a brick and mortar, this is a $1 or $2 book that you could probably find. But send it in the week, $20 plus, a high $60. Like I said, people like to dig for that first appearance. You always split your difference between the first appearance in something like this and a main title. And
what was the story in this one? That was the basis.
Was it Berserker?
Yeah, that was it. And also, shout out to Topher for putting this in his True First, because he even got credit from Key Collector for pointing this one out, which is always nice.
This one kind of caught me off guard. It's kind of a X-Files-y kind of cryptid crossover type series. So it'll be something fun. I think it'll look.
It's good to find and sell junk, man.
Hey, it's a book.
Every man's junk is a $20. Somebody else's $20 loss. So there you go.
Hey, this is a middle book in the one. I forget.
Yeah, go digging. This is like Joe was saying. This is a book you can go dig. You could go find.
I forget how many issues of this there was. Like 20 or 30
actually
issues.
There's a lot.
A dozen.
Yeah. There's like 20 or 30 issues of Negative Burn for the Image run, and then there's some specials as well that came out. But this is the type of stuff that does get shoved in dollar boxes sometimes.
Yeah, stuff. Go get them. Get them. Drop them.
Go digging.
Fool from his money.
And plus, a lot of these just have fun talent on them as well. I love anthology.
There's a lot of talent. There's a lot of good talent in those indie books, and then all of a sudden they become big names, and you're like, wow, where did they come from? It's like, well, no, they've been around for a while now. They've been around. But with that said, let's keep it rolling.
Number 2.
Surprise, surprise book. Thank you, Marvel, for shocking us all and just giving everybody books they're not announcing.
Especially when you give it to them in poly bags. Moon Knight 0. No spoilers. My Moon Knight's back. Moon Knight. It's the surprise customer appreciation, whatever the hell they want to call it nowadays. For stores, 1 per store, averaging $95, high of $150. The most important thing about this series is 2 parts. 1.0 will also be coming out next week, and then the rest of the series won't come out for fucking 6 months.
Not 6 months.
October.
Yeah, it's like 4 months.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
you don't have to wait for Christmas. You don't want people waiting for Christmas.
You're still gonna have to wait. You're gonna forget that 0 came out by the time 1 comes out.
No, totally. You're totally gonna forget. But yeah, this is kind of spoiling another book that was on this list and also came out this week. But it is what it is. I mean, it's Moon Knight, and they put it out there. And while there were a couple sales like $25, there were other sales that were so high that average of $95 is what it is.
Yeah, it was a weird. It's just a weird.
I don't know. We've seen it before. Like Marvel's done this, and some of these Marvel giveaways or surprise books, whatever you want to call them, like that Wolverine by Capullo hits. Meanwhile, the Kid Venom did all right, but then
is
like
this one a virgin? Do we know? Is this a virgin or is it trade dressed? Or
I don't think so. I don't know.
This one has a little bit more green bluish in it. The next cover is going to have a little bit more.
All I was thinking was, hey, looking at previews, I was like, oh, July 3rd. There's Midnight, and then there's the secondary cover, and I was like, okay. And then this pops out. I'm like, ooh,
out of nowhere,
something.
I even missed it on my Wednesday watch list. Yeah, sneaky Marvel.
People like surprises.
Surprise! No, sometimes they don't. That's why there's always a plan B.
That is true. But with that said, we only have one left, so let's see what we got at the top.
And our number 1.
Well, we kind of teased it already, but
Proof number 1 is in development at Fox. Another week, another indie is being made into a TV show or a movie. At the beginning of the week, I believe there was $3 to $5. Towards the end, average of $50 and a high of $122.
Hey, do you know how you know that proof's in the book?
How do you know?
It says on the cover.
Well, it says it on the cover, but I don't know if Proof is a person or if
I don't think that's the character's name.
It's the group.
No, I meant like the story Proof is in the book, like the last.
Oh, as opposed to Negative Burn. I see what you're getting. I see what you're doing.
You know the way indies are like this. This is the recognizable one that people will gravitate toward because it's a number 1. It has the name on it. It has the characters on it. It's not buried in there.
And how do you reconcile those prices going from $3 to 120? There were multiple sales reaching about 120. It's not just one off that was 122. There were at least 3 sales that were like 118, 120, and 122 this week, which to me is Crazy Town Banana Pants for an indie book.
Crazy Town and Banana Pants?
No, just one Crazy Town Banana Pants. Just
okay.
It's just insane. Like I don't know. I guess you all have more disposable income than me.
Who's spending this much on this book? I don't get
it.
I really don't.
3 people apparently.
Yeah, I just don't. I just that rush, like that is just an insane spike.
Was it the same person? Maybe.
Yeah. That would be even worse.
That's crazy. Again,
for 3 people, like they got a couple of dudes who might be looking for more.
Again, this is a book that you can find out there.
True.
It's not, it's not a wall book.
It's like we don't even know if the show is going to be any good. Like,
who cares? Let them find it for $3. Let them sell it for $100.
I want people to find it. That's what I want.
Stop taking money out of people's pockets. $122. I'm listing mine for $140.
They already spent it. They already spent it.
OBO.
What's
done? $140. I just want to see people find it for $3. That makes me happy.
I'll let you know. I'm going to a con this weekend.
OBO.
Yeah. Take some pictures. Let's see. You got a challenge. You got to find a Negative Burn 7. You got to find a Proof 1.
I'm going to have Sticks hold the camera.
You're going to be digging on the ground a lot because those books are not on table. You're going to get on the ground a shit.
Random image books.
Sticks is shorter than me, so he can do it.
Files and the goddamn Crossfires from the 90s.
Where are you guys going?
Malibu books.
We're going to some local con that's about 30, 40 miles away from where we live.
Where's it called?
Local con? Local con?
Oh my God. You fucking newbies have got no respect for this fucking comic book industry, dude. Get out of here, noobs.
It's a free con. We're going.
Go, noob, go.
But again,
go digging. Cons are the best. Those are fun.
Go digging.
It's a 1-day con for like 5 hours.
That's fantastic.
Go digging in those
I know. Nobody's going to be there. I want to be there.
That's great. Those are places where you go. There's people with comics and you dig. There's not a bunch of people in cosplay. There's not a bunch of
it's about the comics.
C-level actors and actresses. And,
go find your Proof 1s, your Negative Burn. Go support those small press books and do so by sticking around here now that we're done.
Look at that segue.
That's what I was trying to do.
Look at a seg like a
It was a good segue. We're gonna talk about some of the smaller presses and some of the titles that are out there. Let's get away from some of the big boys and take a look at some of the smaller presses. So I'm gonna take a look at a handful.
Yeah, and with that all said, give the boys a watch. Stick around; they'll be starting up right as we're done here, and we'll see you with another list next week. All right, later.